Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. That is Arabic for peace be with you all. I am Imran and today we have an iPhone 12 Pro Max here, and it says on the back as you can see, activation problem, baseband chip. So as we turn on the phone, we see that it has no IMEI coming up, so obviously it's not activating. So we're gonna go ahead, open it up and see what it is that is causing it to have a no baseband. Let's get started. Alright everyone, so we have our phone screen lifted up. So let's go ahead and open the rest of the screws. Disconnect the battery. Put the screen away. Okay, so we have our motherboard here. Alright, so the motherboard is all set up onto the heating platform. Let's go ahead and turn it on. This is the new heating platform for the iPhone 12 series. It's from Mijing. I don't really like it. It's taking too long to heat up, and it's not cheap. It's a really expensive piece of equipment. I was expecting a lot more from it. We have just reached 135. We have to get to 230. Yep, not even close to removing. Alright, so we finally got our motherboard separated. Let's take a look at it under the microscope and see if we can find any physical damage. So the first thing we're going to look for is broken pads, which it doesn't seem like it has. Let's just confirm that on both layers. Nothing that would suggest a faulty pad on the interposer, or the middle layer as we call it. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to test the RF side of the motherboard for any shorts. Qualcomm. Why does it look like that it is a broken Qualcomm chip? Let's clean it up a little and see. Oh yeah. So as you guys can see, it has broken Qualcomm PMX55 chip. So see here, all these three lines, they are actual cracks in the IC, which is probably why we do not have the BaseBand. Okay, well, so let's go ahead and replace that Qualcomm PMX55 chip. I think this is the PMIC for the baseband. This is the first time I'm opening that phone up, so I think it is, because I can't see any other chips that are similar to the power ICs for basebands. But the thing is, where are we going to source that Qualcomm PMX55? So what we're gonna have to do is probably gonna have to take it from a donor board. So I did find a donor board. Let's go ahead and prepare this one. This is a pasted IC, so we're gonna have to be very careful with how we remove it. A little bit of heatsink. Yep, that should do. Okay, so the epoxy has been removed from the sides. Now it is time to decide from which side are we going to lift up our chip. I think this will be a lot better from here. In order to do that, I'll have to get rid of some of the caps. Alright. That's it. Chip is off. Let's clean up the board by putting on some leaded solder. Okay, so that is ready to receive a new chip. Let's put it aside and remove the chip from the other motherboard, the donor board. Let me just take it, put it all the way. Now hopefully that is the only thing that is faulty on that, because it was badly cracked. I don't know if the modem itself is okay, or the baseband as we call it. This is the correct one, and this is the good one. Now reballing this is going to be a pain as well, because I do not have a stencil for that. All right. All right. Excuse me. So turns out that we need the proper BGA stencil to reball this IC. So I'm gonna pause the video here, and I'm gonna order one online somewhere if I could find, and once it's arrived we will continue our video back up again. Alright everyone, so after a few days we have received the stencils. This is the one that we need from Meijing. So let's go ahead and reball our IC. That's some nice packaging. Alright, let's grab our phone. There we go. Nice and shiny and equal balls. Just a little preheating. Not too much. And now it's time to put the chip back on. But before we go ahead and do that, we need to know the orientation of that chip. Which way would that chip go? So this is the orientation for the chip. Let's go ahead and put it on. Lower the temperature. Okay, so that is reballed and replaced. Time for the caps to go back on. All of them looks fine. Just want to make sure that they are not being connected together. So multimeter in continuity mode. Nope, it's okay. Right, that's alright. All good. Let's put it in our testing jig. We're probably gonna have to restore this phone since it was restored before, and by that I mean they restored the phone thinking that they might be able to just fix it by software while there was a hardware issue. So now even we have fixed the hardware issue, it's not gonna start up the modem, you can say, the baseband, unless we restore it. Some new feature since iPhone X release. So we have the eye socket here. Okay, so that is all connected together using the eye socket. Now let's power it up. Since I do not have a connector to connect it directly to the power supply, I took this flex off of a faulty battery. It's a 12 Pro Max battery. So what we're going to do is we're going to connect the power using the DC power supply. Connect our screen. Connect the earpiece flex or proximity sensor flex. Now I'm connecting the earpiece flex because if it is not connected, it's not going to give us full backlight when it turns on. Okay, so after looking into the ZXW board view, I think that this is our power button here. So let's see if that is right. Let's see if we have power coming through. No. Alright, so I had to modify the flex cable in order to make it work, because we do not have one of those cables for iPhone 12 series yet. So what I did is I took one of the flexes from the broken battery of iPhone 12 Pro Max, and I'm using that to power the phone using the power supply. So them crocodile clips are connecting with the power cable there, battery cable, sorry. And let's turn it on. Okay, so we have issue. It doesn't want to turn on. There we go. That's it. The phone's coming on. Still no IMEI. So we're gonna have to restore it. Before we do that, we'll need to connect it to the computer, and for that we need an external charging port, because I'm not putting it back together until I'm sure that it is all done and working. So let's get ourselves a charging port. Which we do not have. Okay, so I'm gonna have to get that from someplace as well. Alright everyone, so we have the charging port. Let's go ahead and connect it. USB cable, and it is detected on the computer. Let's go to the computer. So we have our IMEI back, as we can see on the 3U tools. Hopefully that will show up on the screen as well. As soon as it turns on. There we go, the phone is on, and moment of truth. Voila. There we have our IMEI and serial number showing up. That is what we were going for. So that is how you fix an iPhone 12 Pro Max. Thank you very much for watching, and this is it for today's video, and I will see you in the next one.